A rivalry renewed for the 33rd consecutive season. We welcome you to Easton Stadium here in Los Angeles as the Washington Huskies and the 8th-ranked UCLA Bruins reunite for the first time as members of the Big Ten. And a look at the standings with two of the top 4 teams in action tonight. Drifts outside and a leadoff walk for Ava Carroll. A good start for the Huskies to begin this contest. Talked about Charlize.
For when you're preparing against Washington, like I said, both of these teams are postseason contending teams.
Has a chance to make the tag and does. Mujica to Bragg, and Kanaya gets the last laugh as she knocks out Carroll to collect the first out. Now I do think they will look at this one more time, but the call on the field was out, as that was a dime, and it looked off first glance like Bragg was to Alexis DeBoer. Preseason Big Ten players to watch list. Already a Big Ten player of the week recipient already. Grounds it to Bragg, who bobbled it initially and was able to recover in time to collect the second out. Judgment pitch, slapped right back up the middle, and a 2-out single for Glaub and the Huskies. Blooper, that's going to get down for an infield single. A chance for Bragg, can't make the play. And it's back-to-back base hits for Washington.
Such a tough play, just.
1-1 from Fisher. Got the weakly hit ball, and that's going to be interference on Alicia Flores. Savannah Pola was loading up to make the play, and Sophia Ramuno. Bunt is laid down. She's got a chance to beat out a potential throw. A throw is not made by Alvarez, and an infield bunt single for Clements. Marks in the country. She's able to poke the changeup into the soft gap in left. Just speaks to her experience. It speaks to her resolve and her growth here in Westwood.
Savvy Pola does a really good. A lot of late game heroics in that series too, from a couple of different players as well. There was some pinch hit home runs in that series. It was pretty exciting. It felt a lot like you were watching the Pac-12 trying to dominate again.
And it's fitting for 5.5 slug percentage. Grant sends one deep into left center. It's a Grant slam. She does it again. Serving up a 3-star Michelin dish here in the first.
Coming with the bases loaded, she has been seeing the ball so well, and you just see her land and get her hands to the top of the zone there. Coach Lisa's scream is sending me. I love that. Coach Lisa and her just have such a great friendship as well, that they always do extra reps at the end of practice, and it's paying off right here. Coach Lisa's able to see her reap the benefits of all her hard work.
The most lethal bat in the country at Husky Softball Stadium, as that is going to be blooped right into the glove of Alexis DeBoer for the first out. But you just have to imagine from a psyche perspective, how do you...
And she said, because her mom used to wear number 33 when she played high school basketball, so she's paying tribute to her mom because her mom has helped her throughout her athletic career in every facet.
Well, she's had a knack for being in the wrong place at the right time. Talked about leading the nation.
Bringing back Alexis Ramirez, like you said, it seems like they're fitting in better places now in the lineup.
She is struck out, though. First strikeout for Ramuno, and they're 2 away. Where she was teammates with Jessica Clements. In fact, Mujica lifts one deep into left, and it hits the scoreboard for the second homer in this inning.
And we actually have her parents right here in front of us screaming, "That's my baby, that's my baby."
Gives UCLA a 6-0 lead. They've not only taken the first punch, they've dealt a haymaker here in the first.
In the postseason, you know that they're of that caliber. They have the type of talent and the grittiness that it takes to get to Oklahoma City. So throughout the years, you've just known this to be one of the rivalries that you always look forward to see on your TV and always look forward to step on the field with.
Certainly deserving of that as well. As again, that flutters up the middle, just over the head of Fisher, but helps when you have Savannah Pola, a senior, backing you up to make the play.
Start with one. It doesn't have to be a grand slam every single time, although that's the Bruins style of play as of recent, but exactly like this, being able to get someone on and slow the game down and be able to see good pitches off of Addison Fisher is what they need to focus on in this inning. Money's at.
And Peshek is able to shoot one into left. So connects on her first try, and she sets up the Huskies for their first run consecutive trips as a program, including a couple of national titles as well under her belt, as Fisher strikes out Bubke for out number 2.
That's also
correct. And the judgment, that is softly rolled to Megan Grant at first. So they strand 2 as the Bruins maintain their 6-0 lead.
kind of took the reins of, oh yeah, this is what I want against her. This is the combo I want.
Flies it into left, sprinting forward is Carroll and gets underneath it to make the catch. And again for Clements, play with 20 home runs last year.
It's fun times, fun times.
On the ground, a long throw for Peshek. And Savannah Pola is on with a one-out infield single. Woolery takes another changeup, dips below the zone, and it's back-to-back walks drawn by Jordan Woolery. That's the growth, that's the evolution in her game, a lot more patient. And into this contest early on. The 2-2 digs underneath it and lines one into center. Mazzola is there and makes the catch for out number 2. Flies one into left. On the move is Carroll, and she makes the play. So the Bruins strand 2, but still lead it 6-0. As Fisher's 2-2, that's sharply hit to third, and Woolery goes across the diamond for out number 1. We obviously know why they're now in the Big Ten for financial reasons, but when it came to softball,
in a new conference and also able to show the strength that you had.
Bragg loads up, collects out number 2 on the 6-3 putout. To your point, when they took on Maryland, they spent their off day in DC exploring the cap.
Travel and experience all that different type of weather.
3-1 to Flores, and it misses inside for Fisher. So she's been good at limiting the number of reached on a fielder's choice to end the first inning. Her first time up, puts one on the ground, one flip to Bragg at second. And a 4-6 flip ends the inning. So Washington continues to leave some meat on the bone. They started game 1 against Wisconsin as Bragg smacks one high and deep into center. Back goes Mazzola, and it stays fair. As the fans got a little restless, thought they were seeing the third homer of the game, but instead it's the first out. Ramirez blasts one into left center, but again, it stays fair for Mazzola. She has games 1 and 3. Trying to make herself indispensable as that's carrying deep into right, but Flores makes the catch, and it's a quick 3-up, 3-down inning for Sophia Ramuno, finally able to retire the UCLA. She refers back to the game against Tennessee as the first opportunity as she strikes out Charity Saveatasi, but then cites the game versus Howard when she Pops it into shallow left. Bragg is backpedaling and holds on for the second out. Fisher going to work, induces the ground ball. Bragg on the move and cuts her down on a 6-3 putout. So Fisher saw what Ramuno did in the top half of the bottom of the third and produces the same result. All of these Big Ten teams, UCLA clocking in at the top with number 10 as Terry pops it up in the infield. And Giselle Alvarez gets underneath it to make the catch. I liked here when it came to batting. Stuck to pitching as Clements sends one high into right. There's Flores for the second quick out. Got her to pop up in the infield again. Alvarez holds on just on the fringe of the circle. So Ramuno Fisher strikes her out and a 2-3 putout for extra assurance. 11,200 miles over the first 5 weeks as Carroll lifts one and it's just going to escape the glove of Clements into center and a lead off or a stand-up double, pardon.
Top level recruits at that.
DeBoer able to lace one and drops it into left center. It will cut off Ava Carroll at third as Clements got the throw in quickly. But for the first time tonight, and that got a piece of her leg. And now it's a little bit dangerous here. You load up the bases for Alicia Flores, and again, Fisher.
Game if they're.
Deuces the ground ball, Fisher to home. They record the first out on the force play. So they trade places with.
She's throwing a lot of pitches, like you said.
Alvarez lifts one deep into center, and Clements is there to make the catch. A scary and a dicey situation with the bases loaded. One potential swing, and instead it's a catch.
On their own, in their own softball career.
On the payoff, Woolery slices one into right, and Flores barely has to move to make the first catch. And to your point, 2 times for Salling competed.
Moments too, the bigger the moment, the more runners on. She's able to really produce with those grand slams.
Drives one into right center, and it's gone again. 2 homers in another game for Megan Grant. She is inevitable. 7-0 UCLA. The 4th multi-homer game of her career for the slugging queen in Westwood.
She just can't get enough, huh? She just loves that number 2, 2 home runs. It's really nice to see them two be able to have that relationship, and it's honestly a synergy between the two of them.
Laces one into center and squeezing the glove underneath it to Mazzola to make the second out.
That this team has broken records for is the mercy rule wins that they've been able to induce.
Bragg softly floated it into left. Ava Carroll is there to make the catch. So the game continues, but Megan Grant with another. Chopper to short, and Bragg mistimes the pick. It sneaks underneath her. 6th hit of the game for the Huskies. Although that should.
Over from third base to shortstop, and she says, I have to give credit to her from moving from second to third.
A line to Pola, the throwback, and they get the twin killing. That was all savvy from the senior. Know that the defense has their back, and the defense knows that this offense can pop off at any time, as that is lined right into the glove of Bragg. So Addison Fisher and the defense. Quick.
I felt like in postseason last year, you saw so many home runs, so many.
Ramirez is struck out looking. Good pitch from Romuno.
Would have changed a little bit of the at-bat against Megan Grant and just how she was able to really tear the game open, and then following that with Sophia's home run as well.
She has struck out 2 in a row for the...
Able to attack them rather than to shy away, give up a walk, give up a hit on a pitch that's not your best pitch. I think that would have been more of the conversation that I would have been having with my pitcher facing such a prominent team.
Terry was hit by the pitch, first time that she's reached today, and Clements also either got the elbow on the ground to second, and Bubke makes the play to record the 4-3 out and leave a couple runners stranded for the Bruins. So it heads into the 7th. Fisher sends her fishing to begin the 7th.
Dirty, dirty pitch to end that at bat. She creates such a heavy ball for hitters to hit, and it doesn't really get to go far, and you've seen it's created a shutout in this instance right here.
Walks Ava Carroll. DeBoer is just able to shoot it into the gap in left. Bragg and Jordan Woolery couldn't stay in front of it. Playing their best softball of the year. And that is smoked fair for the time being. That's going to score Carroll. No, I had a feeling it stayed foul, but smart third base coaching from Heather Tarr saying, why not? Waving her home. Provided. Woolery can't make the throw. Lay down the third base side. And the bases stay loaded again. 130 pitches thrown. Flown into right. Terry swivels back. It will score Ava Carroll as the Huskies push across their first run of the contest. Bruins collect a coveted second out, and it's 7-1 on the sac fly. Comfortable lead. Alvarez blasts one into right center. And this is a new ball game, 7-4. Sixth home run of the year for the California kid.
It was a towering home run, and this one was a little more to right field, but the other one was to center field, and it was a lot like this one. It was a towering home run. You knew it was leaving the park. It was electric for their team. Now I got to see one in person, but she connected really well to that.
Confidence builder.
I think it also reminds you that you have this in you, but you need to bring it from the start of the game, especially from a team like this. There's some games that you can get away with allowing the game to draw out till the end of the game and then come up with some late game heroics, but
Fisher wins game 1 for UCLA. Puts the worry to bed as the Bruins claim the 7-4 lead, the 12th win of the season. Stretch Charlize, but they extend their win streak to 10. They've won 20 of their last 21 games, and they stay red hot and perfect here at home.